Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been quite a while since I uploaded. I think it's been like 2 weeks, which is probably the longest I've ever gone without uploading on my channel. Today's video is going to be a little get ready with me because I feel like it's the perfect video to share with you guys some life updates. And I also want to share with you guys my goals for the new year and all that. If you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get ready because I need to fix this. Change my shirt because I was actually burning up. But like I said, I'm just gonna do a little get ready with me. I'll list all the products I'm using down below, but it's like the basic stuff that I use all the time. I've done so many makeup videos on my channel that you guys probably know what I'm already using. But before we get into my goals for the new year, things I want to do in 2022 and all that stuff, I wanted to give you guys a little life update. I think the last video I posted was my what I got for Christmas video. And the reason why is because I finally applied to law school. If you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you guys know that I was a pre-law student. Well, I kind of still am because I don't graduate until May, but I finally applied. So I applied to 10 schools in total. I'm not gonna say like which schools I applied to yet because I'm probably gonna make like a video on like my stats, what schools I got into, where I applied and all that in the future in case any of you guys are pre-law students as well. But that just took up a really big chunk of my time, and between Christmas and New Year's I was like finishing up all my applications, making sure everything was ready to go. I did my personal statement like a million times. It's not even funny. I cried for days because I was just so frustrated. This process is so overwhelming, especially if you're a first generation college and law student like me. It's a lot because you don't have anyone to go to. Like my parents have no idea what the process is like because obviously they've never been in it. I don't really have any friends that are applying this cycle, so they couldn't help me. Basically just doing everything on my own. My FAFSA, my applications, my resume, everything. So it's a really tedious process and it's just very draining and discouraging. And even though I applied like a week ago, I've been frantically checking my emails as if I'm gonna get a response that quickly. I know I'm not. It's just so mentally draining because I want to know already. Even though I know the turnaround time is like 4 to 12 weeks. I'm just crazy. So that is my biggest life update. I'm really excited, and obviously since I've taken you guys along this entire journey, like with my pre-law videos and all that, I'm gonna share with you guys where I end up going. God willing, I get into a school that I really want to go to. I came to the realization that if I don't get into like one of my top 5 schools, that I think I'm just going to take a gap year and then reapply and see where things go from there. I do not have anything against gap years. I was actually toying with the idea because I really missed out on a lot because of COVID, and I was supposed to graduate early in December and have like 8 months off before starting law school, but obviously that didn't pan out how it was supposed to, so I just felt like I was missing out. But since I already had all my letters of rec and I already took the LSAT, it didn't make sense for me to like waste a year when I could just see if I could get in now. Hopefully I get into a school that I'm excited about, but the majority of the schools I applied to are here in New York. I applied to 1 school in Pennsylvania, 1 in New Jersey, and then 1 in Boston. I'm hoping to stay in New York, but I guess we'll see what happens. That's pretty much it for like big life updates. I haven't been doing anything lately because COVID is really bad in New York right now. If you haven't watched the news, New York City is going through a surge again, and it's really discouraging because I'm just so over this COVID crap. As I'm sure many of you guys are as well, it's just taken a toll on my mental health. And I'm just hoping that by the time my graduation comes around and it's spring, that things are better because I just can't do this anymore. And I'm sure a lot of you definitely relate, but I'm just praying that 2022 is better than 2021. I know if you guys agree, but in a way I feel like 2021 was worse than 2020. I feel like 2021 is the year that it finally hit me that we were actually in a pandemic that wasn't going away anytime soon. I can't wait to like have a fresh start this year. I feel like that's a perfect transition into my New Year's goals and what I want to do in 2022. It kind of rhymed, but I have a bullet journal that I've had for a couple years now, and I just write everything in here. So I'm gonna go through it with you guys. I also made a vision board, so when we get to that, I'll post a picture of my vision board on the screen because it'll make more sense after I like explain to you guys what my goals are and what I want to do. But my first category is named Mind, and these things have a lot to do with like my mental health, so that's why I decided to name it that. The first thing I have on my list is to try and wake up every morning from 7:30 to 8:30. I was more strict about this when school was in session, but obviously I've been off for the past month or so. I've gotten into a habit of sleeping into around like 9:30, and even though that's not super late in the day, I just feel like my whole day is wasted if I don't wake up as early as possible. And I feel like anywhere from 7:30 to 8:30 is like a good range for me to get everything I want to get done in the day. Then I also wrote down to read at least 2 books a month. So finally, since I've applied to law school and all that, I definitely have way more free time on my hands than what I did before. So I think the first day of my winter break officially was December 18th, and since then I've already read 5 books, and that just goes to show how much more free time I have. I love reading, but I just couldn't keep up with it with my classes and studying for the LSAT and all that. Now that that's all over, I really want to dedicate more time to reading. I just finished reading Verity by Colleen Hoover, and I read it in about a day. It was amazing. I'm a very fast reader, so I really want to try and read at least 2 books a month, and if I read more than that, amazing. My goal for this year is to read 50 books on my Goodreads app. I also have written down to say more positive affirmations about myself. I have this really bad habit about speaking of myself in a negative light, which isn't good, and it's definitely a habit I need to break. I'm just like really negative on myself, and I critique myself so much, and I say all these things about myself that I'm sure no one even thinks about me. Just get in my head, and it's something that I really need to stop doing because it's not good. That is what I have written down for mind. Moving on to body category. So I definitely have more things in this category because my body is something that I really want to focus on in the new year. The first thing I have written down is to try and get some type of movement in every day. I have a Fitbit, which I wear every single day. And I got this in March of 2020 actually, because when I found out that we were going into quarantine, I was like, I'm gonna take advantage and work on my body, lose weight, do everything, get into my healthiest self. And I did really well. In 2020, I lost about 20 pounds and I was so happy. My body was in the best shape that it has ever been, and I gained it all back. It makes me really sad because I worked really hard to lose that weight. And my whole life, my weight is something that I have struggled with, and I'm just sick of not feeling good in my body. It seriously takes a toll on me, and I could just cry talking about it right now because it's something that I've struggled with. What makes it even worse is that when I share my feelings about how I feel, it's never validated because people are always like, oh, but you're so small, oh, but you don't need to lose weight or anything like that. But it's not even about that, it's about how I feel inside, and I just don't feel like I'm my best self. So I really want to work on getting movement in every day. If it's just going for a walk for like 15 minutes, I feel like that would just really help me a lot. That brings me to the next point, which is actually making walking a priority. So like I mentioned, I have a Fitbit, and I think the goal is to take 10,000 steps a day. And I'm probably averaging about 4,500 to like 5,500 a day, which is definitely less than half. If I can, I definitely want to go on more walks. Since it's winter right now, obviously it gets dark early, and I don't feel comfortable walking at night when it's dark. So even if that means waking up a little bit earlier to get like an hour walk in the morning, I really want to do that. I feel like it's just a good way to start your day, like while listening to a podcast. So I definitely want to make that a goal of mine. My next point is to get out of my comfort zone and dress how I want to dress without feeling like people are looking at me like I'm crazy. And it's so funny because I live in New York City and no one cares what you look like. I have so many friends with so many different fashion styles, and they look amazing and they don't care. They just walk out confidently, and I just can't be that person. I've never been that person, but I made it my goal that this year I'm gonna start dressing how I want to dress. I'm not gonna care what other people think because I love fashion. I have so many beautiful pieces in my closet that I haven't even worn because I'm afraid about what other people are gonna think. It's like, why even buy the pieces if I'm just gonna have them sit in my closet? That is a goal of mine. I want to take more fashion pictures for Instagram because I have so many beautiful outfits that I can put together that I just haven't worn because I'm afraid. So I am making a vow to myself. I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone and dress how I want to dress. I'm gonna try and dress nice every single day. Even if I'm just going to the grocery store, I'm gonna look good. So that's a goal that I have for this new year. That is everything that I have in the body category. Now moving on to health. Body and health definitely go together, so that's why I put this category after body. The first thing that I want to do is eat more whole foods. I don't know if you guys have heard of Whole30, but basically the challenge is that you only eat whole foods for 30 days. And by whole foods, I mean like non-processed foods, fruits and vegetables, all that stuff. I would say that I definitely eat a lot of whole foods. I try and eat as healthy as possible, but there are times where obviously everyone eats processed foods. I always snack on cookies and cakes. I have the biggest sweet tooth ever, but I really want to try eating more whole foods, implementing more vegetables and fruits into all my meals. And then I have to drink at least 80 ounces of water every day. I have this huge water bottle from Target Target. It holds 40 ounces, so I just refill it twice throughout the day, and I will say that I have been doing really well with that since January 1st. I have this tracker on my phone where I'm able to like put in how much water I've had that day, so that's really been helping me. And sometimes I've actually found that I feel hungry, but it's because I'm thirsty. So drinking more water actually really helps me, and it prevents me from overeating. I really want to try and intuitively eat this year. I've done it in the past before and it's really helped me, but sometimes I have this bad habit of eating food when I'm bored, which makes no sense because I won't even be hungry and I'm just bored. I'm like, oh, let me go snack on some chips, which is not a good habit to have. That's something that I need to change about myself. And then my last point is just to work out at least 2 to 3 times a week. Like I said, I want to implement more walking into my daily routine. But even if I just work out like 2 to 3 days a week of doing like a HIIT workout or cardio or something like that, I'm walking on the other days, so it kind of like makes up for not working out 7 days a week, because that's just something that is not feasible for me. I know that if I make like working out 5 times a week my goal, I'm not going to do it because I just know the kind of person I am. I feel like working out 2 to 3 times a week is good for me. And the next category I have is school and career. The first thing I have written down is graduate with honors. I know I probably will graduate with honors, but I want to graduate with the highest level of honors. I'm not sure what the name is, but I currently have a 3.85 GPA, which I'm so proud of because I really worked my butt off for that. I've consistently had a 4.0 for like the last 2.5 years or 2 years, I think. And I know it sounds like I'm bragging, but I'm just like really proud of myself because my freshman year of college was so hard. I literally had like a 3.2 GPA. The transition from high school to undergrad was nothing like I expected. And once I finally got the hang of it, I was able to actually get A's in my classes and improve. So I'm just really proud of myself because I feel like I have come a long way. So I want to graduate with honors, and then I also have get into law school. I'm hoping and praying that one school out of the 10 that I applied to accept me. It's really all I want at this point. If I get into any school, I will be proud of myself, even if I don't end up going forth with that particular school that I may get into. But I'm just really hoping to get into a law school this cycle. As for career and like more of my personal interests / hobbies, I have written down to grow my social media. I want to try and hit at least 1,000 subscribers this year on YouTube. I think I have like 830 as of right now, so I feel like it's definitely possible, especially because it's literally January and we have the entire year ahead of us. That is a really big goal of mine. It was my goal for 2021, but obviously it didn't happen, but that's okay because we're going to move on and make that my goal for 2022. And then I also have written down to grow my Instagram. Like I said before, I want to get more into fashion posts and post more on there. I follow so many styling accounts and I'm just so obsessed with them. I want my feed to look as nice as that. I also want to collab with more brands. I got a decent amount of sponsorships this year for my channel, especially considering the fact that I don't even have 1,000 subscribers, so that's something I'm really proud of. But I really want to work with more brands this year, and that's pretty much it for that category. The next category is finance / personal. The first thing I have written down is to invest more. My dad has been on me to invest for so long, and I just have no idea how to. But I don't understand how the stock market works. I definitely understand the basics, but when you really get into it, it's just something that is so foreign to me that I just have never really taken the time to understand it. But I finally downloaded an investing app, so that's something that I've already been doing. I downloaded Acorns, and I feel like it's the easiest to understand, especially for a beginner who really doesn't know anything. So far, I only have 20 bucks invested, and I set it on like a reoccurring amount where you invest like $5 each week, and then it just customizes a portfolio for you based on if you want like low risk, moderate risk, all that. So that's what I did. So hopefully this year I will get more into that. Then I also have written down to open a retirement account. I feel like this is something that's really important. Even though I'm only 21, I feel like if you open this really young, you can have so much money saved by the time you're like 55. That's something that I need to get on this year, even though I'm not employed and I will be starting law school. Just investing like $100 a month in that account will help it grow. It's better than nothing. I need to research that and find out more about it. And for like my own personal finances, I really want to save more money this year. I'm trying to find a job right now, like a part-time job while I'm finishing up my undergrad. So updates to come on that, but once I get a job, I definitely need to save more, especially because there is a chance if I go away to school, I'm definitely going to need an apartment, so I need money saved for that. And then I have 3 more things left on my list. This is going to be a shocker to you guys because obviously if you watch my videos, you know how much I love to buy makeup, clothes, and skincare. I have made it a goal of mine this year to not buy any makeup or skincare unless I need it. I have a huge makeup collection and I currently just use whatever is in my everyday makeup bag because I want to get through these products, and then when I finish these, I'll switch out and add more from my makeup collection into this bag. There's no need for me to be buying foundation from Sephora if I already have 10 saved in my stash. It's just a habit that I have because I love makeup, and whenever new products come out, I need to get them. but I cannot buy more makeup. I'm running out of room. I just need to get through what I already have. That is something that I'm going to be super strict on with myself. I also have written down to finally get my driver's license. I feel like you guys have probably noticed, I don't even know if I've ever mentioned this in a video, but I don't have my license. I feel like living in New York City, it just has never been a priority of mine, because before COVID, I would take the train everywhere. It's just cheaper and it's fast, so that's what I would do. But since I might be going away to law school, I'm gonna need to learn how to drive. I have my permit right now, I just don't have my license. I've never taken driver's ed. I've had like driver's lessons like with my dad, but I still don't really know how to drive at all. So that is my goal for this year, to finally get my license, because it will be a necessity one day. And then the final thing on my list, God willing that things do get better, is to travel more this year. I haven't been on a vacation since August of 2019, and that was when my family and I went to Miami. It was a great vacation, but that was also the last time that I left New York. And now that I'm probably going to be starting law school next August, I really want to take the time to have a vacation, because I know when law school does start, I'm not going to have time. And even if it's just like mini weekend getaways like here and there, like to go to Boston or to go to Connecticut or Cape May, I just hope that things are better by May, so that I have May, June, July, and a little bit of August to do some traveling. Those are all my goals for the new year. Like I mentioned before, I'm gonna put a picture of my vision board on the screen right here in case you guys want to see it. I wanted to show you guys after, because I feel like it would just make more sense after I read my goals out to you. I did make my vision board on Canva, and all the pictures I use are downloaded from Pinterest. It was super easy. I'm sure there's so many videos on YouTube on how to make one, and you can also make them from like magazine clippings or from newspaper clippings. Just having a visual of all your goals is really helpful and motivating. I made it my screensaver on my phone as well as my laptop, so every time I open it, it's the first thing I see, and it's just a good reminder. I hope this inspired you guys some way. Hopefully you can write some of these goals down and add them to your list. I know everyone is probably saying this, but I have a good feeling that 2022 is gonna be the year that I actually stick to my goals. I actually really like New Year's, even though I know a lot of people don't. It feels like a fresh, clean slate, so I'm just really excited to get into the new year. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I miss you guys so much. If you guys have any video requests for this year, please let me know and comment them down below. School is actually starting next week, so I will have some college days in the lives coming up, but until then, I'll probably just be posting home vlogs and things like that. But if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, because it really helps me out, and I'll see you all in my next video.